Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this week's video, I wanted to make an announcement. I had a really awesome opportunity this Labor Day to have my friend Ben come over and do a video documenting my off-grid cabin, and we talk a little bit about managing our whitetail herd and have all sorts of cool stuff that's in it. I'm gonna leave a link to that video. You're not gonna be able to see it right here on Carl's Off the Grid. Rather, I'm gonna send you over to Ben's channel. It's called Camp Benny. And if there's something that I really enjoy about life, it's living in the Great North Woods and harvesting huge whitetail deers. And Ben's channel has a lot to do with both of those things in it. He is one of the last true North Woods hunting camps that are, I should say one of the last, but he's a dying breed. And the guys at his camp are just really good, down-to-earth, good-hearted people. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave a link to that video in the description of this video. So go over there and check it out. If you want to see more about my off-grid cabin and get to know about a really cool guy and the group that he hangs out with, check out that video at Camp Benny. So, alright, let's get into this week's video. I think we're gonna head out and see if we can catch a fish. At this point in time, the water clarity has really gotten quite good, and the water's starting to cool down already a little bit. So if we get a walleye or a small northern, I think we'll keep them and bring them back to the cabin and have ourselves a lunch today. Well, that's a good fish. He's not hooked that strong. He's not big, but he's eater size. And look at that, hook came out of his mouth. But I got him in the net. Alright, so that's one eater for the net. So this has possibly been the fastest fishing trip I ever had. One cast, one fish. So I think we're going to keep it a perfect record here with that, and let's see what else today brings us. Got some scouting I'd like to do for archery season. This morning was the official opener to archery, and I usually don't head out too much early season because it's hard to preserve the meat when it's still so warm out. But yeah, let's get out and at least do a little bit of scouting later on. And I got some projects going on at the cabin that I'd like to do. So stay tuned. We got a lot planned for the activities this week at the cabin. Let's see what we can get into next. We are finally back at the cabin. We caught this one fish. I threw him on a tape measure at the boat, and he's not real fat, but he is 26-27 inches, and that's probably about perfect eating size. So I'm gonna go ahead and fillet him up. And In the meanwhile, you guys expect an upcoming video. I've got this new portable power station by Bluetti, and if you've been watching the channel a while, you know, it's really cool to have electricity out in the middle of nowhere, and this is one of those instances where I'm going to fillet this fish up right on the tailgate of my truck and we have electricity. So alright, I'm going to get to work and get this thing cleaned up. Okay, let's give the Bluetti a little bit of a workout. I'm going to go ahead and plug into the AC power, and I already pressed the button, it's on. It's opening day for grouse season, and I haven't missed opening day for grouse season in I don't know how many years. So we're gonna let that fish chill down and we'll see how grouse hunting goes. If I can get out of the woods early enough, we'll use that for maybe lunch or a snack. But yeah, let's get out in the woods and we'll see what opening day brings us. I'm not sure if you guys recognize this or not, but this is the back side of the property. And we've got all sorts of berries and different vegetation in here that I usually catch the grouse in. So we're going to take a little walk around this field here. Or this clearing, I should say. I see the deer have really got it packed down this year, so that's a good sign. But let's see what this brings us in here. Last year I had a violator that was back in here deer hunting. It's good to see that he hasn't left any of his trash back here. This early season grouse hunting for me has always been pretty hard when I don't have my dog with me, and unfortunately the dog stayed home with Mama this weekend. Let's go back a little deeper into the woods. We'll see what we get back in there. Okay, folks, it is getting really dark. We got some storms rolling in, and this is real disappointing. I haven't posted a video lately because of all the stinking rain that we've had up here, and I'm about 2 mile hike out from where the car is, so I'm starting to get a little bit panicky. Something real cool, kind of a side note. This is the third chair I have found out in the middle of the Chequamegon National Forest this afternoon. Check it out. So it's kind of eerie. I imagine some bow hunter 20 years ago had this chair set up and was thinking it was the ideal spot. But yeah, that's probably the third chair that I have found while I've been walking today. And you know, this is only
I don't know how many minutes I'm into this video, but it's discouraging because I don't know if you realize how much time we put into making these videos, and I still have to do all my editing and everything. And by the time I get out of this woods, you know, it's not going to make for that much of a video. But the main thing is that I got out in the outdoors, and that's what I want to convey to you guys. You know, a successful hunt isn't always gauged by what you've got during the daytime, but it's also, you know, getting out and having exercise and being in touch with the beauty that God has given us here on this earth. And so for me, even though I haven't got a grouse yet, this has been a successful hunt. We've seen a lot of different shrooms and things like that. I'm not sure what this plant is. If any of you know what this thing is, yeah, leave a comment. And it's been amazing. I've walked up into a bear baiting station while I've been out here. I've met a number of bear hunters that have been parked along the road and had a number of good conversations. And so, yeah, it's been actually, even though I've been out in the middle of nowhere walking, it's been a pretty eventful day. So I'm going to keep walking and maybe talking with the camera, but that 2-mile hike may not seem like that much of a hike. But for a fat guy like me that's got to burn off all the weight that I packed on during the summer months, it's going to be a little bit challenging. And I don't know if you can see it, but the clouds are getting really gray. It was kind of funny when we were out on the lake this morning. That northern was really, really thin when I cleaned them. And I think the animals kind of know that we got weather coming in, and maybe that's why I haven't seen anything for grouse today either, because usually back in these woods I usually see 2-3 grouse even on a crummy year. And yeah, this year's been slow. I haven't seen really anything out here. So all right, well, let's get out of here, and then depending on how we feel, I'll tell you right now, my butt is kicked. I'm not so sure that I'm gonna fillet that or cook that northern. Rather, we may cheat and run into town and pick up a pizza or something, depending on how late I am when I get out of these woods. So, all right, I'm gonna put the camera away and get boogieing, because I don't want to be stuck out here in the rain.
In Popple River Pub makes some awesome pizza. So pizza's on the menu for tonight. So originally I wanted to do an update on what was going on with the well that we're putting in for the bathhouse. I'm not sure if I want to get this bathhouse yet this fall, or if that's a project we'll wait till spring. But so youngest son Nick and I came back here with the Sandpoint well driver that I made, and we went ahead and added some more pipe on, because we wanted to make sure that our efforts weren't for nothing. And we went ahead and tried driving the well a little bit deeper, and we hit bedrock. So this one's going to be a bust. I'm admitting defeat. I'm going to salvage as much of this pipe as I possibly can. I already tried pulling the well point out, and I think I mushroomed ahead because it's not coming back at all. So we're going to end up donating this one to natural resources, and that can stay in ground. But I'm still a little curious as to why we were indicating that we had water back here. So I'm not going to give up on this one yet. We may try driving another Sandpoint, maybe one direction or another of the cabin. But yeah, I'm not really having any feelings of desperation, because we still have the other well that we're using, and that's been working out great. But there's a couple other things I want to do so that this weekend isn't a complete bust. I still need to sight in the crossbow. So all right, let's get to work and let's get that crossbow sighted in.
So part of being a good steward of the land is making sure that your equipment is working properly, and I don't ever want to injure or wound an animal. I want it to be able to be a nice clean kill, so let's go ahead and get this thing sighted in. So that's a pretty tight grouping. I know that my bow is pretty consecutive. I'm a little bit off to the right, and I'm a little bit high. And as long as I got them real close like this, I'm not too worried about it. I'll just move the lens over a little bit on the scope, and we should be right on. So I'm feeling good with that pattern right there. That's close enough that I'll be right within the kill shot. And if you guys have been watching my channel here for the last 2 archery kills that I had, I keep everything in the lungs, and that's easily within the lungs of the animal. That'll be a quick and easy death for that animal. Boy, it was good to get back into the woods again. All that rain had really kept me down, and I was really starting to miss the cabin. So even though we were kind of hit and miss on whether I was able to get in the outdoors with all the rain that we had this weekend, so it still was enjoyable to get out those few moments that I was able to. Just an idea, you know, if you guys want to leave a comment. I was in the woods and ran into a group of bear hunters, and they talked about how if I wanted to, I could bring the cameras along on maybe when they train their dogs next fall. If that's something you guys would be interested in, leave a comment. And if you're interested in bear hunting, I do have a video somewhere of me shooting my bear a couple of years ago, and I could include that. And this is pretty cool. I'm going to see if I can gently grab the camera, but I'm having a wily moment right now. I've got a deer that walked in on me, and she's maybe 10 yards away, so I'm going to see if she stays around. But hi there, sweetie. You're YouTube famous now. So that's pretty cool. What a way to end a video. But just one of the joys and the beauties that I have here in the North Woods. And I just feel blessed to have this cabin. So thank you guys for your support. I'm going to go watch the deer a little bit more. Enjoy your day. We'll catch you next time on Carl's Off the Grid.